You've got some good ground beneath you, but you're not like totally happy. What's next? What do you do? My name's Taylor Pace, and welcome back to the Rainbow Wise Survival Guide. I'm hoping that you have, a good support system with like your friends or family, whoever that may be, people that you are able to talk to, that you feel close with, that you have connection, meaningful relationship with. I'm hoping that you have things that you enjoy doing and they give you a lot of satisfaction, hobbies, outings, activities, whatever, and that you engage in them like regularly to your level of regularity, that you overwhelmingly believe that your identity is valid and it is allowed to exist, it's allowed to take up space, and that you live from a place of that. And also, obviously, the financial means to take care of your life's responsibilities, whatever that may entail. That's what I'm hoping that you have with stability. But that's the question, right? What if you're kind of in this space and yet you're not happy? And I'll maybe even go a little bit further. What if you have all this stability, you are happy, and what do you do next? And you don't feel satisfied, or maybe you feel like you still need something more. If you're not taking care of your health, whether that be diet, hydrating, exercising, making sure you get plenty of rest and sleep, if you find yourself lacking in one of those things, that's where I would say it's worthwhile to put effort into trying to figure out how to fit that into your life, how to take care of the very biological needs that your body and your mind has. It truly comes down to practice in those types of ways. You'll find so much of like therapy and growth and progression is kind of understanding conceptually what it is that you're wanting to do or who it is that you're wanting to be, and then putting in the practice to see what that person looks like in real life, in the real world. How do they interact? What does this healthy queer person look like as a healthy queer person living in the hellhole that is capitalism, right? What does it look like to be authentic? All that jazz. So as far as like, what do I do? I'm not going to feel happy. Sometimes you won't. And sometimes that happiness comes with a cost of practice, with the cost of it takes a little bit longer for us to find our rhythm. I know all of us want to be a little bit better. I know all of us want to be a little bit further along, and we can definitely hope for that, but like it doesn't do us any good if we are inaccurate about where we actually are. Now let's say you've got a lot of that, you got a lot of that down, you've been going to therapy, you've been doing these things, you got a good support group, you feel good with your friends, you feel authentically and openly queer. The most you've probably ever felt in your life. What next? Why does it still feel like there might be more? I do think, again, part of that sense of reference is understanding like Utah's not a safe place. Regardless of what people think, regardless of whatever people want to portray, and it's definitely not a place that is aligned with the goals of like an authentic queer person. So your next steps would be challenging ones. They would be like finding out how to leave. It's okay. You're not, morally failing. Finding out where can you go that does fit with your new lifestyle. Finding out what kind of things are you okay with having versus what kind of things are you not okay with having. People may persuade you otherwise, but ultimately you have to understand that like, if you're going to want something more, there's going to be something more asked of you. And I don't see Utah being a more safe place for queer people in the near or far future in the ways that I would hope so. That would be what I would say. Make Utah miss you. Let's say, right, you can't leave yet, which is probably where a lot of you are, would be my guess, is that a lot of us are in the position of we've come to terms with who we are, we've done the work, we've put in a lot of fucking effort, and we've really grown as people, which should be awarded. I hope the people in your life tell you that they're proud of the growth that you've done, because I'm sure it's there. It just requires doing the same things that we've always known, to build a community, to try to be there for people, to keep doing things that are for our queer siblings, trying to make things better for the people to come later. There are things that we can do. It will take work, though. Will it be probably harder for queer people to do? Probably. Like, let's just be realistic about that. It's challenging. There's not a whole lot of systems or structures built within our cities, within our state, that help make that a safe, reliable, helpful piece of support. And there's not a whole lot of protections right now for queer people. Like that sucks. That's challenging. Those are real live things that you really will encounter and deserve real attention if you want to take on those challenges. I would say that it's mostly antagonistic. I mean, in the ways that I've been in advocacy, it's almost always inherently like there's been an understanding of like I am doing something against the grain. These people here are doing something against the grain, and there's going to be antagonism about it. But like that's the cost. And I'm not trying to say that I know where those lines for every single person is as to where that cost is doable, one that you can stretch to maybe. It will be hard. It'll be annoying. It'll probably come, I think, with, at least in my experience, a lot of waves of ups and downs and big swells of awesome moments and hopefully small, consistent endeavors of, I guess, rebellion, existence. But the cost of community is inconvenience, and so it's going to be annoying. It's going to require us to stretch ourselves. It's going to require us to, at some point in time, maybe stand up to people in ways that are uncomfortable. Hope the leaders of our community do that we rise to that occasion in some way, or at least that we try to make that happen, that we aim for that to be our goal. As a therapist, that's what I hope to do with my clients. I hope that they get to rise into what they want to be and who they authentically are. And I think as professionals and leaders, that's our responsibility, is to do that. And it's doing that until it sticks, until it's normal, until it's weird that we ever treated queer people this way. I hope that you do take the effort to build community in whatever way that you can, big or small. As always, stay alive, stay safe, and stay fucking gay, bitches. I'll see you later.